A millionaire's son cried uncontrollably. Doctors failed to help. Then, a humble maid's unexpected touch calmed him. What happened next changed everything. Before continuing, write in the comments where you are listening from, and at the end, I'd like to know your opinion on the story's outcome. Elias lived in a world of luxury, but his sprawling mansion felt empty and cold after his wife's passing. Noah's constant sadness echoed through its vast halls. The immense wealth he commanded could not fill the void in his heart, nor could it bring a moment of peace to his grieving 3-year-old son. Every corner of their opulent home felt shadowed by a sorrow that money could never dispel, leaving Elias in a perpetual state of profound helplessness. He tried everything to soothe his son, filling Noah's rooms with expensive, whimsical toys and bringing in the most renowned child specialists from around the globe, each promising a solution. Yet Noah's heartbreaking cries for his lost mother never stopped, turning every lavish gift or expert intervention into another poignant reminder of Elias's inability to truly comfort his child. The silence of the mansion was only broken by the boy's inconsolable wails. "Please, Noah, my boy," Elias pleaded one evening, holding his weeping son tightly, his own voice cracking with despair. He kissed the child's tear-streaked face. "What can Daddy do? What can I give you to make you feel better?" The question hung heavy in the air, a testament to his desperation, as Noah only clung tighter, his small body trembling. Noah's inconsolable wails grew more frequent with each passing day, escalating into a piercing sound that haunted Elias's every waking moment. Every attempt at comfort, every soft word, every gentle embrace seemed to turn into fresh agony for Elias, who felt his own profound grief for his beloved wife resurface sharply with each of Noah's agonizing tears. It was a cycle of shared, unrelenting sorrow. Dr. David, the family physician and a trusted friend, gently suggested a specialized hospital stay, hinting at deep-seated trauma that Elias's immense wealth alone could not mend. "Some wounds, Elias," David explained, "need more than just resources. Noah needs a calm that we haven't found yet." Elias reluctantly agreed, hoping against hope that this drastic step might finally bring solace. The opulent hospital corridor buzzed with subdued, hushed activity, a stark contrast to the raw emotion Elias carried. He walked quickly, shielding Noah as best he could, but the boy's cries were loud, echoing with an unsettling intensity that made heads turn. The clinical precision of the luxury hospital seemed to amplify Noah's unrest, making his pain feel even more acute and out of place. Nurses and doctors, skilled in their craft and accustomed to childhood trauma, tried various calming techniques, speaking in soft voices and offering gentle reassurances. They brought toys and comforting blankets, attempting every professional strategy imaginable. But Noah's screams intensified, a raw, primal sound of despair that pierced through the professional calm, unaffected by their efforts, surprising even the seasoned staff. "Mr. Thorne," a nurse said softly, her voice filled with a profound pity that tore at Elias's heart. "We've tried everything in our power. He's truly inconsolable." Elias felt a familiar, crushing wave of helplessness wash over him, realizing his fortune, his power, his influence were utterly useless against his son's deep suffering, leaving him completely disarmed and defeated. In that moment of profound defeat, standing amidst the sterile grandeur, Elias looked up, his eyes silently pleading with a higher power he rarely acknowledged in his scientifically driven world. It was a desperate, unspoken prayer for mercy, a plea for a solution, a sign, anything that might alleviate his son's unbearable pain and his own crushing burden. He felt completely adrift. Just then, a maid, unnoticed by the frantic medical team focused on Noah's distress, slowly approached, her presence a quiet calm amidst the swirling chaos. She gently took the screaming child into her arms, and a surprising, almost instant peace began to settle over Noah, his cries slowly subsiding. But how did this humble maid possess such an extraordinary and seemingly miraculous ability to soothe a child in the throes of inconsolable grief, an ability that eluded even the most seasoned medical professionals? And what hidden depths lay behind her serene compassion? Before continuing, If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any story. Sophia knelt beside Noah, her presence a soft contrast to the sterile environment that typically amplified the boy's distress. She gently reached out a hand, not with the clinical efficiency of the nurses, but with an almost sacred tenderness. Her quiet grace seemed to momentarily pause the frantic energy in the luxurious hospital corridor, drawing all eyes to her compassionate gesture. Noah's cries, though still piercing and ragged, seemed to falter slightly as Sophia's calm energy enveloped him, a tangible warmth spreading from her touch. His tiny body, previously stiff with terror, began to relax almost imperceptibly as her hand found his cheek. The sound of his anguish lessened, replaced by gasps, as if he were catching his breath after a long, terrifying sprint. Elias and the entire medical staff watched in stunned, disbelieving silence, their professional composure shattered. Disbelief etched deeply on their faces as Noah, for the first time in hours, actually looked at Sophia, his tear-filled eyes locking onto hers. Searching for an answer, only she seemed to hold. The air crackled with unspoken questions. "It's okay, little one," Sophia murmured, her voice a soothing melody, gentle and profound, resonating with a comfort Elias had longed to hear. With surprising ease, she carefully took Noah into her arms, cradling him against her chest and rocking him gently. His small head nestled against her shoulder, finding refuge in her embrace as if they had known each other forever. Noah, miraculously, quieted his sobs within moments, his desperate cries subsiding into soft whimpers, then peaceful sighs. He buried his face deeper into Sophia's shoulder, and as everyone watched, utterly astonished, he eventually drifted into a deep, serene sleep, a profound peace settling over his small, troubled form that shocked everyone in the corridor. Elias, tears stinging his eyes, stepped forward, his heart overflowing with a gratitude so vast it threatened to overwhelm him. A million questions swirled in his mind, eclipsing his usual logical thought. "How did you do that?" he whispered, his voice hoarse with raw emotion, a desperate plea for understanding echoing in the sudden quiet. "I don't know," Sophia replied softly, her gaze still fixed on Noah's peaceful face, her humility radiating an unexpected strength. "God simply guides my hands, Mr. Thorne. It is his compassion, not mine." Elias was instantly intrigued by her mention of God, a concept so foreign to his materialistic world, yet now undeniably present in this miracle. Elias, overwhelmed with a profound gratitude that superseded all his worldly concerns, made a spontaneous decision, a desperate gamble for his son's future. "I want you to be Noah's personal caregiver," he stated, his voice firm and unwavering. "Name your price, anything you desire." His words filled the hushed corridor, a testament to his desperate hope. Sophia hesitated, a flicker of something unreadable, a complex mix of surprise and a deep-seated worry dancing in her eyes. "My family, they depend on me," she replied, her voice soft but resolute, hinting at responsibilities and burdens far beyond her hospital cleaning job. Her gaze drifted away momentarily, lost in unspoken thoughts of her loved ones. Elias, desperate for Noah's continued peace, pressed harder, his voice gentle but insistent, emphasizing his son's profound need and the unlimited resources he could provide. Sophia finally looked at him, then at the sleeping Noah, a silent battle raging within her. What hidden burdens did this humble maid carry, leading her to accept such an extraordinary offer? Sophia, holding Noah gently, made her difficult decision, her heart heavy with the profound weight of Camilla's fragile health. "I will accept, Mr. Thorne," she said, her voice soft yet firm. "For my sister." The words were a quiet testament to her unwavering love and sacrifice, setting her on an unexpected path, away from her familiar world as a maid. Elias felt a powerful wave of profound relief wash over him, a sense of hope he hadn't experienced since his wife's passing. He immediately instructed Olivia, his efficient personal assistant, to prepare the mansion for Sophia's arrival, ensuring Noah's new caregiver would have everything she needed. His primary focus was Noah's well-being, now entrusted to this compassionate woman. Sophia began her new and extraordinary role in the Thorne household, her serene and calming presence quickly bringing a quiet peace to Noah that Elias had only ever dreamt of. The once silent halls of the mansion now occasionally resonated with Noah's soft giggles, a melody Elias treasured. Her gentle touch and patient demeanor transformed Noah's days. "How do you do it, Sophia?" Elias asked one afternoon, watching her soothe a restless Noah with just a soft lullaby. His voice held a mixture of awe and genuine curiosity. "My doctors, all my money, nothing worked. Yet you bring him such peace." He was desperate to understand her secret. "It's God's grace, sir," Sophia responded simply, her eyes fixed on Noah, her expression humble. "A gift of compassion, given by him for his children." Elias was instantly intrigued by her mention of God and her profound faith, a concept so profoundly alien to his logical, materialistic world, yet undeniably powerful. Unbeknownst to them, Dr. Evelyn Reed, a brilliant but ambitious pediatric psychologist and researcher at the same luxury hospital, had watched Sophia's extraordinary interaction unfold. She was now deeply and disturbingly fascinated by Sophia's seemingly miraculous gift, seeing it as a scientific anomaly, waiting to be dissected and understood. Dr. Evelyn, convinced there was a quantifiable scientific explanation to be uncovered, began subtly monitoring Sophia's movements and interactions within the hospital. Her sharp, calculating mind saw not a compassionate act, but a potential breakthrough, a phenomenon that could elevate her career to unprecedented heights, regardless of the human cost involved. Later, Sophia visited her family, bringing provisions from her first substantial earnings. Camilla's treatment, "It's all I think about, Auntie," she confessed to her wise Aunt Elena, her voice laced with worry, revealing the immense financial burden she carried. "The doctors say it is so expensive, but I must help her." Elias, pondering Sophia's simple yet profound words about God's grace, found himself unexpectedly reading about faith, a strange and powerful pull towards something beyond his usual understanding. He began to question the limitations of his own logic and the empty promises of his material world, seeking a deeper meaning. As Sophia prepared to leave the hospital for the day, Dr. Evelyn approached her, her smile polite but unnervingly sharp, her gaze intense. "Ms. Ramirez," she began, her voice smooth, "I've been so impressed by your unique ability. I have a very unique research opportunity for you." What did Dr. Evelyn truly intend for Sophia, and was this offer a help or a hidden trap? Sophia gently declined Dr. Evelyn's intriguing offer, her intuition warning her of unseen complexities. "My focus is entirely on Noah and my family right now, doctor," she stated politely, yet firmly. She felt a subtle unease about Evelyn's intense gaze and the underlying current of expectation in her tone, which seemed to go beyond genuine interest in her gift. Dr. Evelyn, though maintaining her professional smile, pressed further, her voice smooth but persistent. "Such a unique ability shouldn't be wasted, Ms. Ramirez. Think of the scientific breakthroughs we could achieve." Marcus, Evelyn's watchful assistant, observed Sophia's quiet discomfort from a discreet distance, his expression unreadable. Elias, noticing the intense conversation between Sophia and Evelyn, approached Sophia afterward, a hint of concern in his voice. "Is everything all right, Sophia?" Dr. Reed seemed very insistent about something. He saw the slight tension in Sophia's shoulders, a stark contrast to her usual serene demeanor, and he knew something was amiss. Sophia offered a small, reassuring smile, dismissing Evelyn's approach lightly, trying to shield Elias from potential complications. "She was just interested in Noah's progress, Mr. Thorne. Nothing to worry about." Elias, however, sensed she held something back, a silent worry that belied her calm words, and he stored the observation in his analytical mind. Days turned into weeks, and Noah's transformation was undeniable, a true testament to Sophia's compassionate care. Tentative smiles now graced his once tear-stained face, a pure, unadulterated joy Elias hadn't seen since his wife's tragic passing. Noah began to play, to explore, his small world slowly expanding under Sophia's gentle, loving guidance. One afternoon, Sophia, believing she was entirely alone in a quiet corner of the mansion, made a hushed phone call to her Aunt Elena, her voice laced with profound worry. "Camilla's cough is worse, Auntie," she whispered, tears in her voice. "And the new medicine the doctor prescribed, it's so incredibly expensive." Elias, walking past an open door, overheard the fragments of Sophia's desperate conversation. His brow furrowed deeply as Camilla and expensive medicine pierced through his thoughts. He immediately realized Sophia carried a hidden burden, a private struggle that her humble demeanor had kept from him, despite his earlier attempts to offer help. Later that evening, Elias approached Sophia, his voice gentle and filled with genuine concern, abandoning his usual businesslike tone. "Sophia, is there something else troubling you?" he asked, his eyes searching hers. "Something I can help with regarding Camilla? I overheard you earlier." He offered his support without hesitation. Sophia hesitated, her gaze dropping to her hands, a flicker of pride and vulnerability warring within her. "God provides, Mr. Thorne," she replied, her voice soft but firm. "We manage, with his grace." Elias knew, however, that she was holding back, her deep-seated independence preventing her from fully accepting his generous offer. "Please, Sophia," Elias urged, his voice now imbued with a newfound tenderness. "Tell me, what profound personal cost did this humble maid bear, all while bringing such peace to his son, and what more did she hide about her family's struggle?" He desperately wanted to understand the woman who had so profoundly changed his son's life. Sophia, seeing Elias's persistent and genuine concern, finally opened her heart, revealing the painful truth about Camilla's rare chronic illness and the exorbitant cost of her specialized, life-saving treatment. Her voice trembled slightly as she spoke of her sister's suffering, a vulnerability she rarely showed, exposing the immense burden she had carried alone for so long. Elias was deeply moved by Sophia's profound sacrifice and her sister's desperate plight. His perfectly logical, financially driven world began to crack under the overwhelming weight of her selfless human struggle. He realized that true compassion transcended spreadsheets and stock prices, confronting him with the limits of his own material understanding of the world. "I will cover all of Camilla's medical expenses, Sophia," Elias stated firmly, his voice filled with a conviction that brooked no argument. "It's the very least I can do, after what you have done for Noah, for my family." His words were a promise, a testament to his burgeoning admiration and gratitude for her. Sophia, despite her desperate and urgent need, initially struggled with accepting such immense charity. Her deep-seated pride and fierce self-reliance battled fiercely with her sister's urgent health needs. She had always believed in earning her way, and this sudden, overwhelming generosity felt disorienting, yet her heart yearned for Camilla's relief. She discussed Elias's incredible offer with her Aunt Eleanor, who wisely counseled her that accepting help in good faith, when offered with genuine kindness, was also a profound form of God's grace. "Sometimes, my child," Eleanor said softly, "to receive is to allow others to give." Sophia, with a prayer, humbly accepted Elias's offer. Unbeknownst to them, Dr. Evelyn, having overheard snippets of Elias's growing interest in Sophia's family, including her sister Camilla's illness, instructed Marcus to dig deeper into Sophia's background. Evelyn, suspicious of Sophia's motives and Elias's sudden generosity, believed there was a hidden agenda, a scientific opportunity to be exploited, not a genuine connection. Elias began overseeing Camilla's new treatment plans personally, a task that demanded more of his time and attention. This brought him into more frequent and intimate contact with Sophia, allowing him to witness her unwavering faith and her selfless dedication firsthand. This shared purpose, a common goal to heal Camilla, deepened their burgeoning connection irrevocably. One evening, Elias, feeling an unexpected openness and vulnerability in Sophia's presence, spoke about his own lingering, profound grief over his wife's death. He found an unprecedented comfort in Sophia's empathetic and non-judgmental listening, a solace he had not found in any other person, therapist, or even his closest friends, finding her presence truly healing. Sophia, in turn, shared how her unwavering faith in God had helped her through her own painful family losses, offering Elias not just sympathy, but a quiet glimpse into enduring peace and spiritual resilience. God gives us strength, she explained gently, even when we feel most broken. Her words resonated deeply within Elias's soul. As Elias started to feel a profound shift within himself, his logical, material-driven world being slowly but surely reshaped by Sophia's gentle compassion and deep faith, he received a cryptic, unsettling message from Dr. Evelyn. "Mr. Thorne," the email read, "I believe we have much to discuss about Ms. Ramirez's past. What dangerous secrets had Evelyn unearthed that could threaten Sophia's rightful place in their lives?" Elias received Dr. Evelyn's message with a growing sense of unease, a seemingly innocuous email about best practices in pediatric care, but with a thinly veiled warning about unorthodox methods in a follow-up sentence. The tone felt less like a professional courtesy and more like a subtle, calculated jab, making Elias's protective instincts for Sophia immediately heighten. He immediately confronted Evelyn, questioning the precise timing and veiled nature of her email during a brief, tense phone call. "Is there a specific concern, Doctor, regarding Noah's care that requires such a broad and unsolicited advisory?" Elias's voice was calm, but a steely edge betrayed his growing suspicion, signaling his awareness of her intentions. Evelyn, with a professional yet unnervingly sharp smile in her voice, claimed she only wished to ensure Noah received the most scientifically sound treatment, subtly implying Sophia's compassionate methods were unproven and thus questionable. "We must always prioritize the child's long-term psychological well-being, Mr. Thorne, relying on evidence-based approaches," she stated, her words carefully chosen to sow doubt. Elias felt a prick of unease at her insinuations, but his burgeoning trust in Sophia remained surprisingly strong. He decided, however, to observe Sophia more closely, not with suspicion, but with a deeper desire to understand her unique, faith-driven approach, to find the truth beyond Evelyn's clinical skepticism. He sensed a battle of philosophies brewing. Sophia, unaware of Evelyn's subtle attacks and the seeds of doubt being sown, continued her gentle, unwavering care for Noah. Under her compassionate guidance, Noah's progress flourished beautifully. He even started drawing small, happy pictures, depicting a sun, a tree, and sometimes a smiling figure holding his hand, symbols of his growing joy. Meanwhile, Marcus, Evelyn's watchful assistant, was discreetly gathering information on Sophia, as instructed. He delved deeper into Sophia's family background and specifically investigated Camilla's rare illness, convinced that Evelyn's research would expose a flaw in Sophia's character. He believed Evelyn's ambition would ultimately secure his own career advancement. Elias, now spending more dedicated time with Sophia, found himself engaging in deeper, more meaningful conversations. Their discussions extended beyond Noah, delving into Sophia's profound faith and life perspective, and Elias found an unexpected, profound comfort in her simple yet profound wisdom. Her unwavering belief in God's plan resonated deeply within him. Sophia shared a touching, deeply personal story from her past about finding immense strength and hope in God after a profound family loss. She explained how true empathy and resilience truly blossom from shared suffering, not from avoiding it, offering Elias a powerful spiritual lesson he had never considered in his pursuit of success. Elias felt a profound internal shift, realizing his vast wealth couldn't possibly buy such inner peace or the genuine, unconditional connection Sophia offered. This new understanding prompted a deep reflection on his own life choices, his grief, and the superficiality of his past materialistic pursuits, truly beginning to challenge his worldview. Dr. Evelyn received Marcus's initial report, detailing Camilla's specific, incredibly rare condition and Sophia's desperate, ongoing struggle to fund her essential treatment. A cruel, triumphant smile spread across Evelyn's face. "Now we know her true weakness," Evelyn murmured, her voice chillingly cold. What dangerous scheme would Dr. Evelyn concoct, armed with the knowledge of Sophia's most vulnerable secret? Dr. Evelyn, armed with the precise knowledge of Camilla's illness, concocted a meticulously cruel scheme. She would offer Sophia a prestigious research position within her department, promising full, comprehensive medical coverage for Camilla. The catch was explicit. It would be entirely under Evelyn's strict, scientific control, stripping Sophia of her autonomy and her unique approach. She presented the offer to Sophia with a veneer of professional generosity, making it incredibly tempting, almost irresistible, for a woman desperate to save her sister. Evelyn meticulously emphasized the stability and unparalleled medical benefits for Camilla, framing it as a humanitarian opportunity that Sophia would be foolish to refuse, a chance to truly help. Sophia felt profoundly torn. The offer was everything Camilla urgently needed, the answer to her most fervent prayers. Yet, her instincts screamed a warning about Evelyn's unsettling intensity and the cold, detached scientific approach she championed, which felt utterly antithetical to Sophia's compassionate methods and her deep faith. She confided in Elias, explaining the enticing yet disquieting offer from Evelyn and her deep, gut-wrenching unease. "It feels conditional, Mr. Thorne," Sophia confessed, her voice troubled. "Like she wants to own my heart and my gift, not just my time or my skills." There's something cold behind her smile. Elias, now seeing Evelyn's true, manipulative intentions clearly, felt a surge of fierce protectiveness for Sophia and an increasing palpable distrust of the doctor. "Do not accept anything without discussing it with me first, Sophia," he advised, his voice firm and unwavering, a promise of his steadfast support against this cunning adversary. Evelyn, sensing Sophia's profound hesitation and Elias's growing influence over her, intensified her psychological pressure. She subtly began to question Sophia's gratitude for Elias's help. "Perhaps Mr. Thorne's generosity has its practical limits, Miss Ramirez, unlike the secure long-term benefits my program can guarantee," Evelyn insinuated, sowing seeds of doubt. Elias, witnessing Noah's genuine, blooming bond with Sophia, found himself more deeply connected to his son than ever before. The once cold mansion finally felt like a true home, filled with warmth and the comforting sounds of Noah's laughter, a testament to Sophia's transformative presence in their lives. He felt a profound shift within himself. One day, Noah, while drawing at a small table, presented Elias with a simple yet profoundly moving picture: 3 stick figures holding hands, himself, Elias, and Sophia. It was a simple, innocent, yet powerful testament to the forming, tender family unit that had begun to coalesce around them, recognized through a child's pure heart. This innocent drawing struck Elias deeply, piercing through his lingering grief and his logical barriers. He realized with a startling clarity that his burgeoning feelings for Sophia were growing far beyond mere gratitude. They were evolving into something beautiful, fragile, and deeply real, directly challenging his grief for his late wife. As Elias contemplated his burgeoning feelings for Sophia and the emotional complexities they brought, Marcus, Evelyn's assistant, approached Sophia with a new urgent warning, his face pale with a mix of fear and forced resolve. "Dr. Reed is very serious, Ms. Ramirez," he whispered urgently. "If you don't cooperate with her demands, Camilla's access to certain experimental treatments might be compromised." Very quickly, what desperate measures would Evelyn take to control Sophia, and how far would Elias go to protect them both from this insidious threat? Sophia, deeply shaken by Marcus's thinly veiled threat, felt a cold knot tighten in her stomach. She was torn between her desperate need to protect Camilla and her profound unease with Dr. Evelyn's chilling, manipulative methods. The weight of the world seemed to press down on her, leaving her feeling vulnerable and trapped. She immediately sought out Elias, her usual calm demeanor replaced by a visible tremor in her hands. "Mr. Thorne," she said, her voice barely a whisper, her eyes wide with fear. "Marcus, he warned me about Dr. Reed's intentions. He threatened Camilla's treatment." Her words hung heavy in the air. Elias listened intently as Sophia recounted Marcus's words, a cold, protective anger building swiftly within him. "He threatened Camilla's treatment. This is an outrage, Sophia." Elias's protective instincts flared, burning brightly against the injustice, solidifying his resolve to shield both Sophia and her ailing sister from Evelyn's grasp. "She wants to control my ability," Sophia explained, tears welling in her eyes, her voice breaking with emotion. "She sees it as a thing to study and exploit, not a gift from God, given freely for his children." The thought of her sacred gift being manipulated by Evelyn filled her with revulsion and deep sadness. Elias quickly reassured Sophia, his voice firm and unwavering, promising to protect her and Camilla at all costs, regardless of Evelyn's schemes. "I will not let her exploit you, Sophia. God's precious gifts are not for sale, nor are the lives of innocent children." His words strengthened their bond, forging a deeper connection between them. Dr. Evelyn, impatient with Sophia's persistent refusal and Elias's interference, began to spread insidious, subtle rumors throughout the hospital corridors. She subtly questioned Sophia's past employment history and her qualifications, weaving a narrative designed to undermine Sophia's credibility and professional standing, aiming to isolate her completely. "Have you heard about Ms. Ramirez?" Evelyn casually remarked to Barbara, the experienced nurse chief, during a coffee break, her tone dripping with feigned concern. "Her methods are quite unconventional for our standards. We must consider the precedent this sets for other patients." Evelyn's words were carefully chosen. Barbara, though initially skeptical and trusting of Sophia's clear positive impact, started observing Sophia with a new, subtle scrutiny, wondering if there was any truth to Evelyn's persistent insinuations. What dark secrets did Evelyn truly hope to uncover? And how far would she go to discredit Sophia and gain control over her extraordinary gift? Meanwhile, Elias contacted Dr. David, expressing his deep concerns about Dr. Evelyn's increasingly aggressive tactics and her questionable ethics. He asked David to discreetly monitor Camilla's case for any irregularities, ensuring her care remained uncompromised by Evelyn's manipulative agenda, trusting David's professional integrity implicitly. One evening, as Sophia gently put Noah to sleep, her heart heavy with the day's anxieties, she received an urgent phone call from Aunt Eleanor. "Sophia, it's Camilla," her aunt cried, her voice trembling with panic. "Her fever is spiking alarmingly, and she's struggling to breathe." What new crisis threatened Camilla's fragile life, pushing Sophia to the brink, and how would this impact Elias's fight against Evelyn's relentless machinations? Sophia rushed to the hospital, her heart pounding with a terrifying rhythm as she saw Camilla struggling desperately for breath in the emergency room. Aunt Elena was by her side, tears streaming down her face, a silent testament to the fear gripping their family. The sight of her frail sister fighting for air shattered Sophia's composure. Elias arrived shortly after, his face etched with profound concern as he witnessed Sophia's raw anguish. "Don't worry, Sophia," he said, taking her trembling hand gently, his touch a silent promise of support. "Every resource at my disposal is here for Camilla. We will do everything possible." Doctor David worked swiftly, stabilizing Camilla's immediate condition with professional calm, but his prognosis was grim, his words heavy with unspoken fears. "She'll need very specific advanced treatments now, Sophia," he explained, exchanging a wary, knowing glance with Evelyn, who observed from a calculated distance, her eyes cold and assessing. Evelyn, seeing Sophia's raw anguish and desperation, approached with a calculating, almost predatory smile. "A tragic turn, Ms. Ramirez," she began, her voice smooth and deceptively sympathetic. "But perhaps this crisis presents an opportune moment for a definitive solution to Camilla's long-term health." Her words chilled Sophia. "This is a critical moment for Camilla," Evelyn continued, her voice maintaining its smooth, persuasive tone. "My groundbreaking research program could guarantee her priority access to the very best experimental care, the kind only I can provide. But it requires your full, unequivocal commitment to our scientific methods, Ms. Ramirez." Sophia felt a crushing weight descend upon her. The offer was incredibly tempting, a lifeline for Camilla. Yet, Evelyn's cold stare and the implied dehumanizing conditions sent shivers down her spine, a profound sense of foreboding filling her heart. She immediately sought counsel from Aunt Eleanor, her voice trembling as she described Evelyn's proposition. "My child," Aunt Elena advised, her hand resting firmly on Sophia's, her eyes filled with wisdom. "God's path is never through manipulation or compromise. Trust in Him and in the good, honest heart of Mr. Thorne. Do not compromise your sacred gift or your pure soul for any worldly promise." Elias, witnessing Sophia's unwavering faith and her deep integrity, even amidst such profound desperation, felt profoundly humbled. His own materialistic worldview seemed woefully inadequate and superficial against her quiet, spiritual strength, and his feelings for her deepened irrevocably, transforming from admiration into a powerful, undeniable love. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, Noah sensed Sophia's prolonged, unsettling absence deeply. His old anxieties, the profound sadness that had plagued him for months, began to subtly resurface. He called for Sophia in his sleep, his small cries no longer fully controlled by Elias, a poignant echo of his earlier despair. Sophia, renewed by Aunt Elena's spiritual wisdom and Elias's steadfast, loving support, confronted Evelyn directly, her voice clear and resolute. "I will not compromise my integrity, Dr. Reed. My gift is not for sale, nor is my sister's well-being a bargaining chip in your ambition." Evelyn's eyes narrowed with cold, unyielding fury, her polite mask dropping completely. What dark retaliations would Evelyn unleash now, having been so defiantly rejected, to seize control of Sophia's extraordinary gift? Dr. Evelyn, enraged by Sophia's unwavering defiance, activated her carefully cultivated network, swiftly spreading insidious rumors about Sophia's unprofessionalism and over-attachment to Noah throughout the hospital corridors. Her words, though subtle, were venomous, designed to poison Sophia's reputation and isolate her from potential allies within the medical community. A calculated strike. Sophia immediately felt the chilling shift in the hospital's atmosphere. Colleagues, who had once offered friendly smiles or casual greetings, now offered cold, fleeting glances or actively avoided her entirely. A suffocating sense of isolation began to close in, leaving Sophia feeling vulnerable and profoundly alone amidst the whispers. Elias, with his sharp observational skills, quickly noticed the subtle but undeniable change in the hospital's atmosphere surrounding Sophia. He grew increasingly wary of Evelyn's malicious influence. "Are you feeling entirely all right, Sophia?" he asked, his voice filled with genuine concern. "The general mood here seems quite different whenever you are present." Sophia, trying valiantly to remain strong and deflect Elias's worry, merely sighed softly. "It's nothing important, Mr. Thorne. Just the usual petty hospital politics, I imagine." Elias, however, knew instinctively she was trying to protect him from the unpleasantness, but a deeper question gnawed at him. What unseen, darker forces were truly at play, orchestrated by Evelyn? Meanwhile, back at the Thorne mansion, Noah's nights became restless and troubled again. His previously peaceful sleep was often interrupted by soft whimpers and cries, calling out plaintively for Sophia, his comfort. This renewed distress caused Elias fresh anguish, a painful echo of the despair he had felt before Sophia's arrival, highlighting her irreplaceable presence. "I need you here, Sophia. Always," Elias stated, his voice raw with the renewed distress in Noah's cries. He held her gaze firmly. "No matter what, Doctor, Reed says or does, your rightful place is with Noah, and Camilla will always be cared for without question." His words were a fierce promise of protection. Sophia was deeply touched by his unwavering trust and the raw emotion in his voice. Yet, a profound internal conflict arose within her. Her growing feelings for Elias felt intensely presumptuous, almost forbidden, given their vast social divide, making her hesitant to fully accept his all-encompassing protection, fearing judgment and misunderstanding. She confided in her wise Aunt Eleanor, expressing both her renewed fear of Evelyn's escalating tactics and the unexpected, overwhelming feelings for Elias that had begun to blossom in her heart. "Auntie," Sophia whispered, "can a humble maid and a powerful millionaire ever truly build a future together? Or is it just a dream?" Aunt Eleanor, wise and gentle, lovingly reminded Sophia that God often places people in our lives for reasons far beyond our immediate understanding, orchestrating connections beyond human design. She urged Sophia to trust her pure heart, and most importantly, God's perfect plan. "Love sees no earthly titles, my dear," Elena affirmed. Just as Sophia tentatively considered trusting her heart's burgeoning desires, Dr. Evelyn made a bold, devastating public move. She filed a formal complaint, maliciously backed by Marcus's meticulously fabricated research, demanding an immediate review of Sophia's unsupervised care of Noah, citing potential emotional manipulation. What devastating public battle would Elias now face to protect Sophia? And how would this cruel revelation impact their fragile, burgeoning connection? Elias was consumed by fury upon learning of Evelyn's public complaint, his jaw tight with righteous anger. He vowed to protect Sophia at all costs, regardless of the potential damage to his own carefully constructed public reputation. "She will not get away with this," he growled, his voice a low, dangerous rumble, fully ready for the battle ahead. Sophia felt a profound hurt and overwhelming shame wash over her. The public accusation of manipulating Noah cut her deeply, tearing at her very soul. She feared not only for her own future, but more critically, for Camilla's continued access to life-saving medical care, knowing Evelyn's reach was extensive and ruthless. "This is an outrageous lie, Evelyn!" Elias roared over the phone, his voice laced with venomous resolve, a stark contrast to his usual calm demeanor. "You have crossed a line you will deeply regret. I promise you that." His words were a direct challenge, a declaration of war against her cruelty and deceit. Evelyn's voice on the other end of the line was eerily calm, almost chillingly confident. "The truth always comes out eventually, Mr. Thorne, and my evidence, I assure you, is irrefutable." She then subtly hinted at damaging, highly personal details about Sophia's past, enjoying the momentary power her veiled threats wielded. News of Evelyn's malicious complaint leaked to the press, igniting an immediate media storm that raged with sensational headlines. They questioned Elias's judgment, his suitability as a parent, and Sophia's mysterious gift, painting her as a manipulative opportunist, a gold digger preying on a vulnerable millionaire. The public was relentless. Sophia, amidst the swirling accusations and public condemnation, found her only solace in quiet, fervent prayer. Her unwavering faith in God became her sole anchor in the tempest, a spiritual lifeline. "God, please guide me through this suffocating darkness," she whispered, tears streaming down her face, seeking divine strength. Dr. David called Elias, his voice grave with deep concern about Evelyn's escalating, increasingly ruthless tactics. "Her ambition is unprecedented, Elias, truly dangerous. What dark secrets did Evelyn truly hope to uncover? What hidden vulnerabilities did she seek to exploit, to utterly destroy Sophia's hard-earned reputation?" he questioned urgently. Noah, sensitive to the sudden, overwhelming media presence and Sophia's profound distress, started to withdraw again, his small world shaken by the palpable tension that permeated their home. His progress, so painstakingly achieved, seemed to falter, a painful step backward into the silent despair that had defined his early life. Elias, determined to clear Sophia's name and protect his son's fragile peace, made a powerful, public statement to the press. He boldly praised Sophia's unimpeachable character and her miraculous transformative impact on Noah, defiantly challenging all social conventions and expectations, placing his family's well-being above his own public image. As the media firestorm intensified, swirling with speculation and judgment, Evelyn prepared her next, more devastating move. A cruel, deeply personal attack designed to break Sophia's spirit entirely and expose a shocking hidden detail about her vulnerable past. What fresh betrayal was Evelyn preparing? One that would strike at the very heart of Sophia's trust and expose her most intimate, vulnerable secret to the world. Evelyn, through her conniving assistant Marcus, leaked a carefully fabricated story to the tabloids, designed to destroy Sophia's public image. It was a distorted account of Sophia's family history, cunningly implying she was exploiting Elias due to past financial troubles, painting her as a calculating opportunist. The scandalous headlines hit hard, particularly a detail about a small, long-ago unpaid medical bill from Sophia's past, meticulously spun by Evelyn to portray her as deceitful and untrustworthy. Sophia felt her heart sink, knowing the public would believe the worst, seeing only the headlines and not the truth of her struggles. Sophia was utterly devastated. The public humiliation and the malicious twisting of her family's genuine struggles felt like a direct, brutal assault on her core character and her deep, abiding faith. "This is a cruel, cruel lie," she sobbed to Elias, tears streaming down her face, feeling the weight of the world closing in on her. Elias, though profoundly shocked by the deeply personal attack, quickly saw through Evelyn's transparent manipulation. He recognized the sheer desperation and malice behind such a vicious smear campaign, confirming his conviction that Evelyn was unprincipled and dangerous. "She's trying to break you, Sophia, but we won't let her." He immediately instructed Olivia to find the unvarnished truth behind the leaked story, demanding irrefutable evidence to expose Evelyn's lies and clear Sophia's name completely. Elias knew that only undeniable facts could combat the insidious whispers and the public's swift, harsh judgment, and he vowed to get them. Dr. David called Elias with a crucial and alarming warning. Evelyn was now attempting to gain sole, direct control over Camilla's delicate medical records, citing fabricated breaches of privacy related to Sophia's employment. He felt Evelyn was using every dirty trick in her book, and David was clearly disturbed. This insidious move infuriated Elias beyond measure. He realized Evelyn wasn't just after Sophia's unique gift anymore. She was now actively and directly threatening Camilla's access to vital, ongoing medical care, a truly monstrous act of manipulation. "She wants to control everything and everyone," Elias muttered, his voice cold with rage. Sophia, feeling the world closing in around her, questioned her own judgment and her ability to protect Camilla from such a ruthless adversary. "Perhaps I should just leave, Mr. Thorne," she said, her voice trembling. "This is far too much for your family to endure because of me." She felt a profound weariness. "Never," Elias declared, his voice filled with a passionate conviction that surprised even himself, his gaze unwavering. "You are family, Sophia, truly. God sent you to us, a blessing in our darkest hour." His powerful words revealed a deep, unshakable emotional commitment that transcended their different worlds. As their bond solidified against Evelyn's relentless onslaught, Olivia uncovered a shocking, irrefutable truth about the supposedly unpaid bill at the heart of the tabloid scandal. What dark secret did this supposedly unpaid bill truly hide? And how would this revelation utterly expose Evelyn's profound ruthlessness and deceit to the world? Olivia delivered devastating news, her voice tight with disbelief. The seemingly unpaid medical bill that Evelyn had leveraged against Sophia was, in fact, a deliberate fabrication. It had been actively hidden from public record by a corrupt hospital administrator, secretly connected to Evelyn's network, designed to maliciously smear Sophia's good name. Elias's fury ignited. Evelyn wasn't just ambitious or unethical, she was cunningly ruthless, orchestrating a calculated criminal conspiracy to systematically destroy Sophia. His anger, cold and precise, now fueled a fierce determination to expose her crimes fully. He had underestimated her depravity, and he would not do so again. "This is beyond unethical, Olivia," Elias seethed, his voice trembling with contained rage. "This is a full-blown criminal enterprise." Sophia, though feeling a profound mix of relief that the truth was out, also felt an overwhelming terror, finally realizing the horrifying depth of Evelyn's malice and reach. But how many others had Evelyn ensnared in her wicked web, and for how long? Elias, now fully resolved to protect both Sophia and Camilla from Evelyn's insidious schemes, made a momentous decision. He would publicly expose Evelyn, knowing full well the immense personal and professional risks involved in challenging such a powerful, respected figure in the medical community. His public image might suffer, but it was a price he was willing to pay. He immediately arranged a discreet meeting with Dr. David, his face grim with the weight of the information. Elias presented Olivia's irrefutable evidence, the meticulously gathered proofs of Evelyn's malicious fabrication. "Evelyn is manipulating everything, David, even Camilla's critical medical care," Elias explained, his voice low and urgent. Dr. David, aghast and visibly shaken by the shocking depth of Evelyn's deceit, vowed to stand with Elias, his professional integrity deeply offended. "I suspected irregularities, Elias, but this is a profound and unforgivable breach of medical trust, a crime against the very essence of our profession." His face was pale. Elias and Sophia shared a tender, unspoken moment. their eyes meeting with a silent, profound understanding that transcended words. In that shared gaze, a promise passed between them. "I will protect you, Sophia," Elias whispered, his hand gently finding and squeezing hers, a powerful symbol of his unwavering commitment. "I trust you, Elias," Sophia replied, her voice soft but firm, radiating a quiet strength that fortified him. "With God's unfailing help and your steadfast resolve, we will truly prevail against this darkness." Her words solidified their unspoken connection, challenging the vast social divide that once separated them. Unaware of Elias's powerful counterattack and the swift unraveling of her intricate web of lies, Evelyn, brimming with confidence in her perceived victory, meticulously prepared for a press conference. She intended to deliver her final, crushing public blow against Sophia, believing herself untouchable and utterly triumphant. Just as Evelyn finalized the details of her public condemnation, ready to unleash her wrath, Elias sent a startling, meticulously detailed message to the hospital board and several major influential media outlets. What shocking platform would Elias choose to reveal Evelyn's profound treachery to the entire world? And how would this bold public move irrevocably change all their lives forever? Elias, with Sophia standing bravely by his side, held an impromptu press conference right outside the hospital, completely overshadowing Evelyn's carefully planned event. The cameras flashed, microphones thrust forward, and a hush fell as Elias stepped up, his expression a mixture of determination and unwavering resolve to expose the truth. He presented irrefutable evidence, meticulously gathered by Olivia and powerfully corroborated by Dr. David, exposing Evelyn's cruel fabrication of Sophia's past medical bill. The documents, displayed clearly for all to see, laid bare the extent of Evelyn's malicious deceit, leaving no room for doubt or misinterpretation. "Dr. Evelyn Reed," Elias stated, his voice ringing with an unshakable authority that silenced all murmurs, "has engaged in a malicious smear campaign, attempting to exploit a truly gifted and compassionate woman for her own selfish ambitions." He looked directly into the cameras, his message clear and uncompromising. The media erupted into a frenzy of activity. The shocking story of Evelyn's deceit and Sophia's quiet, enduring strength spread like wildfire across all news channels and social platforms. Public opinion, previously swayed by Evelyn's lies, decisively turned in their favor, condemning the doctor and embracing Sophia as a victim of injustice. Evelyn, watching the live press conference from the cold solitude of her office, felt her carefully constructed world crumble catastrophically around her. Her ruthless ambition, the very trait she prided herself on, had finally and utterly backfired, leaving her exposed and ruined, her reputation irrevocably shattered before the world. Marcus, seeing Evelyn's sudden and undeniable downfall, felt a profound surge of fear mixed with burgeoning regret. He knew, with a chilling certainty, that he was next to face the consequences of his complicity. What would Marcus do now, he wondered, his heart pounding, trapped between a crumbling empire and his own inescapable involvement? Sophia, watching Elias bravely defend her honor and truth, felt a profound, overwhelming love blossoming in her heart. It was a powerful confirmation of the true partnership they were forging, built on trust, respect, and a shared fight against injustice. She had never imagined such steadfast devotion. "You risked everything for me, Elias," Sophia whispered to him after the press conference concluded, her eyes glistening with grateful tears as they shared a private moment. "Your reputation, your empire. Why did you do all of this, truly?" She needed to understand the depth of his sacrifice for her. "Because you taught me what true wealth genuinely is, Sophia," Elias replied, looking deeply into her eyes, his voice tender and sincere. "It's not found in money or power, but in compassion, in unwavering faith, and in the blessed bonds of family." His words solidified his profound transformation, a testament to her influence. As the hospital board immediately launched a full-scale investigation into Evelyn's profound misconduct, a startling, anonymous message from an undisclosed source unexpectedly reached Elias's private phone. "There's more to Evelyn Reed than you know." The message read cryptically, What dangerous secret about Evelyn's hidden past would this message reveal, potentially impacting the entire, ongoing investigation and shocking everyone? The anonymous message revealed Evelyn's dark, long-suppressed history. A previous research project years ago that was abruptly shut down by medical authorities due to highly unethical practices involving vulnerable children. Elias felt a cold dread settle in his stomach, realizing the full extent of her dangerous past. Elias, with Olivia's diligent help, quickly corroborated the shocking details, meticulously tracing the events of Evelyn's previous misconduct. He realized the true extent of Evelyn's ruthless ambition and her horrifying, consistent pattern of exploitation, a chilling pattern spanning many years, far more sinister than he initially imagined. "She nearly destroyed innocent lives before, Sophia," Elias stated, his voice tight with a mixture of anger and grim determination. "This goes far beyond mere professional misconduct. This is a profound disregard for human life and ethics." Sophia felt a profound chill, directly connecting Evelyn's dark past to her current threats. Dr. David, upon learning of Evelyn's deeply disturbing past, recalled subtle, unsettling hints of her questionable methods from years ago, fleeting moments he had regretfully dismissed as mere youthful ambition. The horrifying truth now connected these forgotten dots, forming a chilling portrait of Evelyn's true character. He confronted Evelyn in a tense, private meeting, his disappointment and anger evident in his strained voice. "Evelyn, this pattern of unethical behavior, it's utterly unforgivable. What other dark secrets did you bury so deeply, and why did you believe you could get away with such actions?" he demanded, his voice thick with accusation. Evelyn, cornered and desperate, lashed out with venom, threatening to expose David's own past, minor professional misstep, attempting to silence him through blackmail. "Don't you dare pretend you're spotless, David. Your hands aren't entirely clean either," she hissed, her eyes glinting with a dangerous cornered desperation. Marcus, witnessing Evelyn's increasingly desperate and criminal tactics, including the threatening blackmail of Dr. David, realized he was complicit in a far more dangerous scheme than he had ever imagined. His fear turned into a profound moral dilemma. Should he speak up now, despite the personal cost, or remain silent and risk his own inevitable ruin? Noah, now more secure in his newfound happiness and peace, spent an afternoon painting a vibrant, colorful picture of Sophia, Elias, and himself, all holding hands under a bright sun. It was a beautiful, innocent testament to the loving family unit that had, against all odds, formed around him. Elias and Sophia spent a quiet evening discussing their future, their growing love palpable and radiant in the peaceful mansion. Yet the lingering, ominous threat of Evelyn still cast a long, unsettling shadow over their newfound happiness, a reminder of the battle still unfinished. Elias looked at Sophia, a tender light in his eyes, and knelt, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket, his heart pounding. Suddenly, a loud, shattering crash echoed violently from downstairs, piercing the serene quiet of their intimate moment. Elias and Sophia immediately rushed to investigate, their hearts pounding with a terrifying mix of fear and dread. What fresh chaos had Evelyn orchestrated? And was it a final act of desperation, or a new, more sinister attack against them? Elias and Sophia found the mansion's study brutally ransacked. Drawers pulled out, papers strewn across the floor. Vital documents relating to Evelyn's incriminating past research were missing, confirming Evelyn's direct, desperate involvement in the break-in. The chaos was a clear message of her escalating desperation. "She's desperate, Sophia," Elias stated, his jaw tight with grim determination. He surveyed the damage, his eyes cold with a resolve to protect his home and family. "She's trying to erase her history, to silence the truth." Sophia felt a chilling, profound fear deep in her soul. But what else had Evelyn stolen? And what dangerous information did she now seek to destroy? They immediately called Robert, the head of security, who quickly arrived and discovered a forced entry point through a rarely used side door, indicating a professional, targeted break-in. Robert assured them the security systems would be upgraded, but the sense of violation lingered heavily in the air, a reminder of Evelyn's malice. Evelyn, now in unlawful possession of the incriminating documents, worked feverishly. She planned to meticulously alter them, fabricating new evidence to maliciously discredit Elias and retroactively validate her own past, unethical actions, hoping to turn the tables in her favor. Her desperation fueled her cunning. Marcus, horrified by the violent break-in at Elias's mansion and Evelyn's intensifying criminality, finally reached his breaking point. His fear turned into a moral imperative, and he decided to betray her. He contacted Olivia, offering to expose Evelyn's entire scheme in exchange for much-needed protection. "I have undeniable proof, Olivia," Marcus whispered urgently over the phone, his voice trembling with fear and urgency. "She's actively editing documents right now, twisting the facts. They're trying to frame Mr. Thorne with fabricated evidence." Olivia, recognizing the gravity of the situation, immediately informed Elias of Marcus's call. Elias, upon receiving Marcus's confession, realized they now had a crucial, unexpected chance to turn the tables decisively on Evelyn. He saw an opportunity to use her own desperate, criminal actions against her, exposing her as the true villain, not Sophia. This was a gift from God, he thought. Sophia, though relieved by Marcus's brave, unexpected help, felt a deep, profound sadness for Evelyn. She prayed for Evelyn's lost soul, asking for God's guidance for all involved in this tragic conflict, even for her tormentor. Her compassion shone brightly, even in the face of such darkness. "This is God's hand at work, Sophia," Elias said, looking at her with a newfound reverence, his heart filled with gratitude. "He's showing us the divine path to truth and justice, even through the darkest trials." Their shared faith deepened their connection profoundly, strengthening their resolve together. As Elias meticulously prepared to publicly expose Evelyn's final desperate criminal act, Evelyn herself made a shocking, unannounced appearance at the hospital, her eyes burning with a manic fury. What drastic public accusation would Evelyn unleash, Elias wondered, now cornered and utterly desperate, to try and regain control and turn public opinion one last time? Evelyn, with a camera crew she secretly arranged, made a dramatic, calculated entrance into the bustling hospital lobby, directly targeting Elias and Sophia. Her eyes, filled with a cold, manic fury, scanned the room, seeking to create maximum public spectacle and disrupt the newfound peace. "Mr. Thorne," Evelyn declared, her voice booming dramatically, amplified by a hidden microphone, captivating the attention of everyone present. "You are shamelessly manipulating this young woman and exploiting her alleged gift for your own sordid personal gain." She accused Elias of bribery and coercion, her accusations sharp and baseless. Elias, despite the shocking public spectacle, stepped forward, his expression resolute and unwavering, facing the cameras head-on. "Dr. Reed," he stated, his voice calm but firm, "your accusations are baseless fabrications, your desperate, malicious attempts to discredit Ms. Ramirez will utterly fail, and the truth will prevail." He hinted at overwhelming counter-evidence. Sophia, though visibly shaken by Evelyn's audacious public spectacle and the cruel lies, stood tall and unyielding beside Elias, her quiet strength and unwavering faith contrasting sharply with Evelyn's frantic, desperate energy. She refused to cower, her dignity shining brightly amidst the chaos. "God sees the pure truth, Dr. Reed, even when human eyes are clouded by malice," Sophia stated calmly, her voice resonating with an unexpected sincerity that momentarily silenced the murmurs of the stunned crowd. Her simple words carried a powerful, undeniable weight, silencing the initial shock and turning eyes towards Evelyn. Dr. David, witnessing Evelyn's outrageous and unprofessional behavior firsthand, could no longer remain silent. He stepped forward decisively. "I have worked with Dr. Reed for many years," he declared, his voice filled with a profound disappointment. "But I can no longer stand by and condone her unethical actions. Ms. Ramirez's impact on Noah is nothing short of miraculous and undeniably genuine." The hospital board, having been alerted by Elias, swiftly intervened. Security guards quickly moved in to escort Evelyn from the premises, their presence a stark reminder of her transgressions. A representative from the board publicly announced her immediate and indefinite suspension, ending her reign of terror within the institution. Evelyn, utterly enraged and cornered, screamed, her voice hoarse with fury. "You haven't seen the last of me. Your perfect little family will crumble, Elias. Mark my words." She then lunged desperately towards Elias, but security quickly and firmly restrained her, pulling her back before she could inflict any harm. Marcus, watching the entire dramatic scene unfold from the sidelines, felt a profound sense of relief wash over him, mixed with a deep pity for Evelyn's tragic downfall. He finally realized his decision to expose Evelyn was undoubtedly the right one, despite the heavy personal cost it might entail for his own career. As Evelyn was finally led away by the authorities, defeated and broken, she caught Sophia's eye one last time, a chilling glint of pure, unadulterated malice in her gaze. "You think you've won?" Evelyn hissed, her voice barely audible over the commotion but filled with a sinister promise. "There's a reason you're so good with children, Sophia. A reason your family is so fragile." What dark, deeply personal secret about Sophia had Evelyn uncovered? And how would this final, cryptic threat haunt their newfound peace and test their faith once more? Evelyn's cryptic, venomous words about Sophia's family haunted her relentlessly. What exactly did she mean by fragile? Sophia whispered to Elias, a deep, unsettling fear darkening her eyes, feeling the chilling echo of Evelyn's final, desperate threat. The words lingered, a sinister puzzle that disturbed her peace. Elias, deeply disturbed by Evelyn's viciously personal attack, immediately initiated a full, comprehensive investigation into the exact nature of Evelyn's final threat. He used every available resource at his command to uncover the truth and ensure Sophia's absolute protection, unwilling to leave any stone unturned. Olivia, using her sharp investigative skills and unwavering dedication, soon uncovered a shocking and tragic truth about Evelyn's hidden past. She had a long-lost child who had tragically passed away in infancy, many years ago, a secret Evelyn had meticulously suppressed. This explained Evelyn's deep-seated rage. This heartbreaking revelation profoundly affected Elias. He realized that Evelyn's boundless cruelty stemmed from her own unaddressed, agonizing grief and deep trauma. She had projected her immense, unresolved pain onto others, twisting her ambition into a destructive force. "She's broken, Sophia," Elias murmured, a flicker of profound pity replacing his earlier anger. Sophia, upon hearing about Evelyn's tragic personal past, felt a profound, aching empathy for her tormentor. Despite all the pain Evelyn had caused, Sophia understood the depth of her torment, recognizing the destructive power of unresolved grief. May God have mercy on her lost soul, she prayed sincerely, her heart aching for Evelyn's shattered life. But Olivia's investigation also revealed something far more sinister and disturbing. Evelyn had deliberately and systematically sabotaged the medical care of other children in her past research projects. She was utterly obsessed with proving her warped theories, regardless of the innocent lives she endangered, a horrifying pattern of abuse. Dr. David, confirming the horrifying details of Evelyn's past misconduct, realized her pattern of unethical behavior was even more extensive and deeply rooted than he had ever imagined, far beyond isolated incidents. "This goes far beyond a personal vendetta against Sophia, Elias," he stated, his voice grim with professional disgust. Sophia, holding Noah tightly in her arms, finally understood the full, terrifying extent of Evelyn's danger. She was a woman utterly consumed by her own grief and unbridled ambition, tragically willing to hurt anyone, even innocent children, to achieve her twisted, destructive goals. Her heart ached for Evelyn's lost humanity. Elias, realizing the true gravity and scope of Evelyn's dangerous pattern of behavior, knew they needed to act quickly and decisively to ensure Evelyn could never harm another innocent child again. He looked at Sophia, his heart filled with a powerful mixture of deep love and unyielding determination, ready for the final confrontation. Just then, a breaking news report flashed across the television screen, chilling them both. Evelyn had vanished without a trace, eluding authorities who had come to arrest her. "Where did she go, Elias?" Sophia whispered, her voice trembling with renewed fear. And what final desperate act was she planning to ensure her silence or wreak her final revenge upon us? Elias and Sophia remained on high alert, Evelyn's sudden disappearance casting a long, silent, gnawing shadow of fear over their home. "She won't stop, Elias," Sophia whispered, her hand clutching his tightly, her eyes wide with apprehension. They knew Evelyn was dangerous, and her silence was more terrifying than her threats. Suddenly, Olivia's urgent, breathless call shattered their fragile calm. "Evelyn's targeting Camilla. She's at the hospital, disguised, trying to get to her room." The words were a jolt of ice water, sending a wave of panic through Elias and Sophia, confirming their worst fears. "She's going after Camilla, Sophia!" Elias roared, his protective instincts surging with an almost primal force. His voice was filled with a desperate plea. "God help us!" They raced towards the hospital, immediately calling Dr. David and Robert, hoping they weren't too late to avert a tragedy. Dr. Evelyn, cloaked in a stolen nurse's uniform, her face partially obscured, slipped silently and cunningly through the hospital corridors. Her eyes, burning with a cold, manic determination, were fixed solely on Camilla's hospital room, her heart set on a devastating final act of revenge. Marcus, who was waiting in a secluded area to provide his evidence to authorities, spotted Evelyn's chilling disguise and recognized her despite her efforts. "She's here! Evelyn's here!" he screamed, his voice echoing frantically down the hallway, alerting nearby security guards and drawing immediate attention. Evelyn burst into Camilla's room, where Sophia had just arrived moments before, her heart pounding with dread. "You took everything from me, Sophia. Now I'll take your truth, your gift." Evelyn shrieked, her voice hoarse with rage, and lunged towards Camilla's bed with a syringe filled with a clear, ominous liquid. "Stay away from my sister, Evelyn," Sophia cried, her voice ringing with fierce, protective love. She immediately shielded Camilla with her own body, a powerful, unyielding maternal instinct shining in her eyes. "You will not harm her, not while I live." Her courage was immense. Elias burst into the room an instant later, followed closely by Dr. David and Robert, who quickly moved to secure the chaotic scene. "Evelyn, stop this madness right now," Elias shouted, his voice laced with a desperate plea, his heart hammering as he witnessed Evelyn's terrifying attack. Evelyn, momentarily cornered but still defiant, whipped around, her eyes wild with an unhinged fury. She pulled out a small, sharp object, a vial containing a clear liquid. "You think you can save everyone, millionaire? Watch me expose her true secret, her vulnerability," she shrieked, her voice trembling with malice. With a guttural, desperate cry, Evelyn lunged not at Elias, but directly at Sophia, thrusting the vial containing the clear liquid intended for Camilla towards her. What horrifying lengths would Evelyn go to, in her final act, to steal Sophia's very essence and prove her twisted theories, even if it meant a direct physical assault? And would Elias be able to stop her in time? Elias, with a lightning-fast, desperate reaction born of pure protective instinct, threw himself directly between Evelyn and Sophia. He deflected the vial just as Evelyn thrust it forward, and it shattered harmlessly against the sterile hospital wall, its clear liquid splashing inertly. The brief, terrifying moment of pure danger passed as quickly as it arrived, leaving behind a sharp, metallic smell. Robert and Dr. David, acting swiftly, quickly subdued Evelyn. They secured her as she struggled, screaming in a frenzy of absolute defeat and rage, her wild ambition finally, definitively thwarted. Her desperate plan had failed, her power crumbling around her in a public display of her complete unraveling, witnessed by many. Marcus, seeing Evelyn completely incapacitated and defeated, stepped forward, his face pale but resolute. He handed Olivia irrefutable evidence of Evelyn's multiple crimes, including the meticulously falsified documents and her long, chilling history of unethical human research. His confession was the final nail in Evelyn's coffin. Evelyn watched Marcus, her eyes filled with a chilling blend of raw betrayal and utter, profound despair. She realized, in that shattering instant, that her entire carefully constructed empire, built on ambition and deceit, had utterly collapsed around her. "You traitor!" she shrieked at Marcus, but her voice now held no power, only a desperate, broken echo. Elias embraced Sophia tightly, a wave of immense relief washing over them both as they clung to each other, their bodies trembling. Noah and Camilla were finally, truly safe, their future now secure from Evelyn's malice. "Thank God you're safe, Sophia," Elias whispered, tears stinging his eyes, his heart overflowing with gratitude. The long nightmare finally over. Evelyn was led away by the authorities, her wild struggles fading as she was escorted out. Her once illustrious career, her carefully guarded reputation, and her freedom were irrevocably lost, bringing a definitive end to the main conflict that had overshadowed their lives for so many agonizing months. Justice, at last, had been served. Months passed peacefully. Camilla's fragile health flourished beautifully with the ongoing specialized treatments, bringing joy to Sophia and Aunt Elena. Noah, now vibrant and filled with innocent joy, called Sophia Mommy without hesitation, truly healed from his deep trauma, a testament to her enduring love and a new family's embrace. Elias, profoundly transformed by Sophia's gentle influence and unwavering faith, dedicated his vast resources to establishing new foundations. Inspired by Sophia's boundless compassion, he supported children suffering from trauma and rare illnesses, actively living out his newfound faith and purpose, his heart now open to service, not just profit. One beautiful starlit evening, as they stood together in the tranquil garden of the mansion, Elias knelt before Sophia, a diamond ring sparkling softly in his hand. His heart was full. "Sophia, you taught me what true love, profound faith, and blessed family genuinely mean. Will you honor me by being my wife?" Sophia, tears streaming down her beautiful face, accepted, her heart overflowing with God's immense grace and the profound joy of their unexpected, miraculous love story. Together, they built a life that radiated hope, compassion, and selfless service, a powerful legacy that touched countless lives, far beyond their own, forever. If you followed to the end, please like the video, write in the comments what you thought of the story's outcome, and take the opportunity to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any stories. Stay with me and watch the next video on the card appearing here on the screen. I'll see you in our channel's next story.